So, how does it feel to be down here in Louisiana, Shreveport at Geek'd Con? How you feeling?
Man, I'm having a ball. Like, it's very rare that I have a bad time. Like, I do my best to live my life like it's gonna be my last day. So I'm trying to party every day, man.
All right, well, y'all just flag down the front here and ask your questions.
Everybody quiet like a church mouse. Oh, he gotta turn his camera on.
How's it going, Mr. Henry?
It's good, how you?
I'm great. Sorry.
He gotta get he don't remember his question.
Okay, so you're no stranger to the Shreveport area. If I remember correctly, in one of your interviews, or your hundreds of interviews, you did say you did a powerlifting show here way back in the 90s.
Yeah, I did my high school national championship was here the first 89 was here. So go back a long, long ways. This is some of the people who was not born. Everybody raise your hand if you was not born in 89. Look at that. There wasn't even thoughts.
I was born 77. Oh, okay,
68.
One last question, Mr. Henry. I know you did a lot of house shows here in Shreveport as well, in the Municipal Auditorium as well as the Century League, or used to be Century, now it's the Brooks Arena. What's your favorite thing about, what was your favorite thing about wrestling here in the Shreveport Boys area?
You know what? I had a lot of friends here. There's a guy named Kyle Pierce who, spearheaded the weightlifting, the Olympic weightlifting movement in this area. He worked and assisted with LSU as a strength coach, and then came up here to LSU Bossier and ran their programs, and they've produced at least 3 or 4 Olympians in Olympic weightlifting from Shreveport and Bossier City. So Kyle Pierce, it was always good to come here and see him. Also, there's a current guy that kind of took Kyle's place, who was an Olympian, Kendrick Ferris, who's over there now. So I see some people have little kids. Like if you want your kid to learn how to do Olympic lifting, they do tutorials and they teach classes for little kids to learn how to do weightlifting.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time, Mr. Henry.
You're welcome. Try to be 55, 50.
Hey, my name's Mark. I've been powerlifting for about 10 years now. I started in middle school. I was wondering if you had the...
You a big old boy.
Yes, sir.
How big a boy are you?
I'm 6 foot, 318.
Woo! Sign him up.
And I've been venturing into strongman stuff. Like I got my log press at the house and everything. I've been starting to do that. I was just wondering if you had any pointers or any wise words to go off of.
The number one thing in strongman is there is no off season.
Yeah.
Like when you choose strongman as a sport, it's all year round. You just have to say, you know what, this part of the year, I'm gonna bulk up and gain some weight so you can handle the more heavy apparatus. Then you gotta have a explosive season where you're doing conditioning and carries and yokes and throws and stuff to that nature. Then, usually in the latter part of the year, I used to do all my heavy stuff, heavy forms. Well, grown folks talking, man, get off your phone. Talking to you.
Yes, sir.
It's only one person supposed to be talking right now. You got the microphone.
Yes, sir.
All right. So at the end of the year, get on that heavy stuff. So at the beginning of the year, when it gets around spring, that's when you can jump right back into the speed and agility type stuff. The bag throws and weight toss for height and all those athletic movements. So you got to break your year up because it'll get very boring. And not only that, but if you work the same muscle groups, you're gonna get hurt. So like, just be real extra cautious about how you lay your year out. That's a lot more than 55-50, what you just said.
I got one.
He warmed up. He been talking up here. Give him the microphone.
That's my wife on the phone, so.
Oh, you got to answer that call.
Thank you. Yes,
Might be
sir.
at the strip club or something.
Okay, got two questions. One, who do you see that isn't in the on the main card right now? Who do you see that could be the next star?
At AEW, I mean, MJF is already on the main card, but I see more out of him. I think he's gonna be really, really good. Not just good for AEW, but good worldwide. A guy that's, I feel like, not really on top at AEW is Wardlow. Mm-hmm. Wardlow, they need to dump a lot of stuff they doing and put time into that. I think Obafemi is somebody that's going to be a player.
Yes.
Like, that dude has got it all.
Monster.
Big old dude, athletic, smart, got 2 college degrees in marketing and business administration. Like, I like smart people. I gravitate to people in education for whatever reason it is, as dumb as I am. But I guess if you keep smart people around you, you know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And you get other people to help, make sure that you're on the right track. If you're the biggest guy in the room, you need to find another room. Or you think you're the smartest person in the room, then find another room. I joke around, I've been really, really blessed. I've been to every major city in the world. I may be the only person in this state that's been to the White House, been to Parliament, and been to the Kremlin, the 3 biggest offices in the world. And they didn't invite me there because of my good looks, even though I am kind of surprisingly handsome. But it was because I did things, and people want you around when you're doing things, and you have something that's bigger than you are. And the reasons that I was in those offices was not just because I was the world's strongest man and I won, but I actually went to the Kremlin because I was on the junior board of the IOC. And when you're in administration, then at the World University level, I got an invitation and I went. And that was before the wall came down in Germany, and that was before Russia was liberated. Like, I was there when they used to have food lines.
Oh, wow.
And you go and see 1,000 people in double lines, like for a mile, just to get toilet paper, food, and flour, and the essential stuff you need in your life. They was in a really, really bad place. And we've had troubles in America, but I don't remember seeing food lines. So, like, we should thank our lucky stars that we in this country.
Mm-hmm. Amen, amen. My next question is, how proud are you?
Damn, how many questions you got? Yeah.
How proud are you?
You got 3, I got 2 questions. Oh, I'm gonna ask 3 questions. I'm playing with you. Go ahead.
How proud are you that your son is about to be, starting his...
That was his question.
Oh, was it?
He was finna ask that. No, I'm just
Oh.
No, I'm very proud, man. Jacob is self-driven. He's not in wrestling because I'm his dad. Jacob is in wrestling because he fell in love with it when he was 10. And I had to tell him that Santa Claus wasn't real. And that was the hardest thing. Yeah, boo, Mark. You're horrible. But I had to tell him that you have to think about wrestling the way a banker thinks about the stock market. And that was a hard day for me because he cried because I lost. And I said, bro, all right, sit down, This is not gonna be pleasant. You know, I'm laughing because I remember how it was, but I remember seeing him sit there for like almost an hour, just looking straight ahead like this, trying to process what I had told him. And ever since that day, he started asking me different questions. He didn't ask me questions like, when are you gonna wrestle the Undertaker? Like, you know, he was a fan. He started asking me questions like, so if you were gonna wrestle the Undertaker, how do they determine who wins? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a different brain.
Psychology.
Like, right. And that's what we need to do with our kids, because in America, we do a lot of kids go, Mom, Dad, look, speak when spoken to, sit down somewhere, grown folks talking. Don't do that. Like, we gotta start reinforcing our kids and putting them in sport, not just in sports, but in science and in critical thinking situations. That way, we change the world because we're changing it through them. By the time they're 12, 14 years old, they'll know more than us.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't do that. You know, I don't run the country. I'm just, you know, on standby. I'm an observer. I don't get into politics, even though I feel like I got some answers. I don't do it because I feel like politics is corrupt. So,
I agree.
you know, I'm too honest. I'll tell the family secret if I get up there. and they not gonna miss me.
I got you.
They gonna hit my ass for 200 meters. They gonna, oh yeah, you dead. You dead. They gonna get you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. I get it, beat it.
First off, thanks for coming. And I was curious, is there anyone during your prime that you didn't get to work with, you wish you could have, and anyone now that you would like to work with, that you could kind of bring them back to your
I never got to wrestle Bret Hart. And Bret was the sole reason that I stayed in wrestling. I feel like I didn't get to pay him back. Man, that was a good question. My son asked me the same question not long ago, probably about a year ago. He was like, who would you wrestle if you had the opportunity in your prime? And I told him Bret Hart. And he was like, why Bret? And then I explained to him. He went, oh, okay. He was like, wow, man, I hate that you didn't get that. Because, you know, you get that closure. I feel like I paid it forward. You know, I mean, I have paid it forward with other people and doing things, but not with his family, like directly with his family.
Yes, sir.
Got a question and a joke for you. Which one do you want first?
Man, hey, whatever floats your boat, brother. You the one with the meat packing coat on.
Actually, mad scientist, but close enough. But the joke.
Hey, if you gonna come to the comedy show, you don't bring attention to yourself. I'll roast you. Nah, I'm just playing. Go ahead, man.
All right. The joke is, what do you call a sleepwalking nun?
A what?
Sleepwalking nun.
A sleepwalking nun. I don't know.
Roman Catholic. And also,
No more jokes for you.
right. My question is, what do you think of Dwayne Johnson and others like him?
Well, the others like him, I don't know what that means, but
Big wrestler types like him.
well, big wrestler types. I assume that you mean somebody that's on the board of TKO who is above wrestling. TKO board, they are acquiring businesses that are in excess of $8 billion. Not just pro wrestling buying the WWE, but TKO bought the World Food Championships, which I'm a judge, World Food judge. They bought UFC for like $5 billion. When you got into hundreds of billions of dollars and you're on the board of that, how much you think that they pay the people on the board at that level? He probably makes more from his job as a board member of TKO than he does a $20 million movie. You know, this dude is super powerful, super wealthy. It's a difference between people like him. I respect it. I'm proud of him. You know, I like the guys that are actors that, you know, Batista is doing an incredible job as an actor, not just an actor in a sports series, in an action series, but he's just a great actor. You know, his performances are good. John Cena, same thing. You can't even turn the TV on without hearing John Cena's voice. He on every commercial. Damn avocados and what's those nuts? The pistachios, the Honda cars. Shit, he do a commercial for everything. Like, can somebody else get a job? Damn, John.
Do you know that The Rock has his own?
Oh, you at your limit of question. Okay, next. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Let him ask the question. I'm a clown. I can't help it.
I'm a clown as well. So, do you know that The Rock has his own brand of tequila?
Terramana. I don't drink alcohol, but I tasted it. At a tasting about 2 or 3 years ago when it came out, and I tasted it till I couldn't talk no more.
Oh, that's probably why you don't drink anymore.
That's why I shouldn't drink.
I got jokes too, you know.
Hello, Mr. Henry.
Go ahead, man.
All right, I've been a teacher for 20 years, and I really appreciate what you said about the education and the science. I'm teaching science right now in 4th grade, and one of the reasons I became a teacher was my mom. She taught for 35 years, so I kind of want to get more than 35 years. But I was wondering, since she influenced me, who is someone who influenced you to maybe become a wrestler or powerlifter or something, the person that you are?
Somebody that influenced me for wrestling was Andre the Giant. As a little kid growing up in Silsbee, which is 2 hours south of here, you get on 96 South and you got to go through Silsbee. So I've known, you know, this area my whole life. Andre, man, I got to see Andre wrestle at the Beaumont Civic Center like 2 or 3 times. I got to see him in Lafayette at the Cajun Dome one time. I don't know what it was. I think it was just, he was just so big and larger than life that, you know, to a little 8, 12-year-old kid, you know, he looked like he shouldn't be on Earth. Like the dinosaurs still existed. Like, man, I'm telling you, like I've had kids come up to me and they just stare at you like, you know, I know what they thinking. They thinking, what is that? Like, golly, like, you know, you just really big to them. You know, to adults, you know, y'all saw this big guy. He must play sports. But to a little kid, they can't fathom what they seeing. And I think that's pretty awesome. I guess other influences, I've been around Dr. Terry Todd and Dr. Jan Todd since I was 17. They both were professors at the University of Texas, and they own the largest physical culture library in the world. And at 17, Terry was like, I don't want you to just be an athlete. I want you to be an advocate for the world of physical culture. And my question was, what's physical culture? And then he explained to me, and you know, I studied kinesiology, but I was not interested in the world of physical culture because I lived that life. I was learning that just through osmosis. The thing that I was interested in is psychology and how things become things and why things become things. And that's kind of where I stayed. In pro wrestling, like, come to find out, The reason that you love pro wrestling is not because of big bulging muscles and nice shapely bodies, which that don't hurt. But the storytelling and the why you do stuff, when stuff happens, and where it happens. You know, like that's what I teach in wrestling. I don't teach how. They have all these wrestling schools, they teach them how to do it. I teach them how to become a champion. I've brought in like 12, 14 wrestlers, and 10 of the 12 to 14 have been world champion. That's the difference, is what you know and how you think, and can you think quickly, and can you tell a story? If you're telling a story, then you know that there's a beginning, you know there's an end. And the body of the story is gonna be a collection of things. It's gonna be educational, then it's gonna be an arc. Is there a villain or a hero that comes into play? Is there ups and downs? You have to take people on a ride, and then you go into the end. But in our business, we know the end and the beginning, and then everything else is subjective to art. And so there should be a category in the Oscars for the best performing wrestler, because we do way more than an actor does. They do memorization, and then they perform what they've learned. Pro wrestlers create and perform what they learn. So, I digress. All right, next question.
Have you ever been disappointed in a storyline?
Yes, I've been disappointed several times. I'm a very large black man, if y'all didn't know that. But black people in America have fought through racism and fought through being called primates and monkeys and stuff like that. I grew up with a guy that stared at me in Boy Scouts like for 24 hours almost, and I finally was like, "What are you staring at?" And he was like, "Can I see it?" Like, whoa, bro, it ain't that kind of body. But he wanted to see my tail because his racist ass daddy told him that black people had tails. So the WWE had asked me to do the silverback gimmick. And I was like, no, I'm Mark Henry. I'm an Olympian. I'm an educated guy that little black kids look up to. I'm not being a primate. I have thumbs and I can think. Like, there's no way that I'm gonna belittle myself or lower myself to an animal. Like, relax, easy. And they got the point, and we didn't do it. Oh, y'all can clap. All the racists like, damn. Should have played monkey.
All right, what's up, man?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, thank you so much for coming out and answering questions, dude. This is awesome. After all these years being in business, everything you've learned, I want to know if you could go back or you had to start over. Is there another gimmick or character you should have taken or would take? Like another direction, you know what I mean?
Man, that's great. And that's a question nobody never asked me. But I got the answer for you.
I knew you would.
I was so pissed that they brought Devon Dudley in from ECW to do a preacher gimmick. I wanted to do a preacher gimmick so bad, and they wouldn't let me do it. They had plans of doing that with Devon when him and Bubba Dudley split up, and I still mad. Oh my God, you just don't know, man. I had some I'd have made TDJ look pedestrian. Jimmy Swagger would have came out of his grave and was like, yes, Lord! Woo! Nah, man, I was tailor-made for that gimmick, and they wouldn't let me do it.
There's no time.
No, it's not. Because if somebody hit me, I'm calling the police. Are y'all having fun? Yes. I was just checking. You gotta check the temperature. And I like that, but sometimes you gotta check the temperature.
So I feel like you answered this a little bit earlier, but how do you approach like your character in wrestling? Do you see it as like an extension of yourself, or like a whole different character you're portraying, or you're just like playing up different parts of who you already are? Like, what's sort of your process in approaching your character in wrestling? If that makes sense.
Without being contradictory, you do have to play something that's close to you to be 100% comfortable. And to be able to turn it up to 11, I turned the wrong way, you got to turn it this way. Hey, that's how my brain works. You have to turn it up to 11 for it to really go. But then there are people that are just good entertainers that it don't matter what role you give them, they're gonna make the most of it. The Miz is one of those guys. It don't matter what you ask Miz to do, he's gonna be able to do it because he's gonna be serious about making sure that it succeeds. Do y'all remember Aaron Stevens? The guy that did the Sandow?
Oh, yeah.
And he did the mirror of Miz. Listen, that dude he should be famous. But Aaron is a little weird. That's my guy. Aaron he's a little off. Everybody know that one dude that's kind of off. And he's got a, if somebody's like this, then it's you. You the one that's weird as hell. Aaron is an acquired taste, but he is so entertaining. And if he was in this room right now, like, I would have to bring him up here because he would be out there entertaining y'all. He just takes over a room. And like somebody like that, you can just throw anything at them and they can do it. But for the most part, Steve Austin is Steve Austin. The Rock is The Rock. You know, Big Show is Big Show. And anybody Big Show is another one that's extremely talented. Did y'all see the Big Show on Netflix? Anybody? Okay, that's your homework. Go on Netflix and pull up the Big Show. I made a guest appearance on the show, just so y'all know. So really tune into it, and sing too. You know, like, I mean, it was a fun, really good show. And watching the Big Show act and be emotional with this little girl that was his co-star, shit, that dude is talented. And it's a bunch of wrestlers like that. They just, people can do it, Hope that answers your question.
This is more of a request than a question. My dad's a huge wrestling fan, and I know he would freak out if I had a picture with you. So my question is, can I take a picture with you?
Yeah, man, my stand is way over there on the end. You gotta walk a little bit, and you got the unasked $45 to get a picture with me.
Sadly, I don't have that much.
Well, it's all a dream. They used to read the Word Up magazine. I'll take a picture with you before I leave.
Okay.
Don't tell nobody. Damn it. He gonna go tell everybody. Go ahead. She over there. Hey, listen, you peel yourself, you're gonna embarrass yourself.
Oh no, I'm okay. Hi, good morning. Just to say, thank you for coming out to Louisiana, born and raised. And just wanted to say, I did watch your documentary on WWE. And
did you cry?
I definitely did. I'm not even just saying that just because you're here. The fact that how you raised your kids in this type of environment, knowing that you were always on the road, but you always kept them spiritual, and teaching them about bullying. of how to overcome different obstacles. That was the main thing that actually moved me. The fact that, you know, as a father, that how you're raising your kids, being on the road, telling them different opportunities that they have, and you're not stopping them. So I didn't really have a question, just wanted to say that was a very touching movement, to say that you are the world's strongest man, and you was very scary growing up, but at the same time, you know the difference between work and personal. So that was it.
Well, thank you, and I can get scary again if you're reaching my plate. But I appreciate that. I mean, y'all, we've been here, what, 30 minutes or so?
About that, yeah.
And I think y'all have a different impression of who I am just by this last 30 minutes. Imagine what you would know in a year. My kids have been with me since the first minute to now. And the stuff that they learn are to be CEOs. They're learning to own and to take over. They're not learning to stand aside and be an employee. And I want everybody to do the same thing. And it can be done. My mother had a high school education. My grandmother had a 4th grade education. And it kept on growing. And my brother was the first man in our family to go to college. Now we've had 14 kids go to college. Like, you gotta keep evolving. And if you have the philosophy of misery loves company and we just all gonna fail together, then that's what you're gonna have. Like, I just don't subscribe to that theory. I want growth, and because I'm not doing it politically, I'm doing it through my family. So they're learning the stuff that I feel like our nation should be doing.
Okay, at your peak, how many calories a day were you taking in? Because groceries are expensive.
Oh my God. You mom?
Yes.
Holy shit. I know what you're going through. Hey, we on the same, I'm so glad. My wife was like, oh, he going to college. Yes, I can't believe he. I'm like, get his ass out of here. Like, man, I'm talking about $600 a week to feed him. Not everybody else, just him.
Yeah.
He eat a whole, if he open a box of cereal, that's like 2 bowls. He eat a whole loaf of bread at
About 25-pound bags of rice at a time.
gone in a week. Yeah. Like, I mean, he was eating numbers that I was calculating. Shit, I'm gonna have to work till I'm 70. But it's like, that dude he can throw it down. I mean, so like, if you got a family of 5, I just got 2. You know, my daughter, she like a bird. I mean, a ostrich, but a bird. But Jacob, man, that dude, if he make a sandwich, like, you know, you open a package of lunch meat, right? You know, it's like $7.25, and Jacob got 4 pieces of meat on his sandwich. You know, like, he's cutting up tomatoes like the knife is dull. Like, he put 2 slices, a whole tomato, and then throw the ends away, and the ends be like that thing. I'm like, bro, like, he eats a lot. But me, I was a professional eater, because in strongman, like, he laughed. He was like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, the professional strongman, if you Google them, Hafthor and Eddie Hall and Martins Likas and Hopper and them guys, they're eating about 14,000 calories a day. And that's the equivalent of a pound of meat at breakfast, 6 to 12 eggs, at least 4 to 6 pieces of bread, probably 2 servings of like oatmeal. That's just one meal. And then you go to lunch and you're eating a whole chicken. And you're eating vegetables. You gotta, really make sure that you are eating vegetables, because when you eat that much carbs and that much beans and stuff like that, like it'll ruin your stomach because of all the protein. One of the things my coaches always said, because they were, in the physical culture world, eat papaya and eat watermelon and eat cantaloupe, because they hydrate you from the inside out, and they, keep everything moving. But and did we get into a nutrition conversation? Yeah. But I was eating about the same. I was eating about 14,000 calories a day. And if you go to any of the strongman sites and look up the diets, and you'll see what I'm saying is pedestrian. There are guys that are eating 16,000 because they have higher metabolisms, and they have to try to keep up. And I didn't have a high metabolism. I was eating because of fun. Yeah. I was eating because it tastes good. Yeah. I eat 5 bowls of gumbo. You make gumbo. You ever see somebody put like this much rice and then put like a whole bowl of gumbo, and they start picking out all the sausage and the shrimp? That was me. Like I have 5 bowls. But eating is tough, and it's really expensive. You got to get a Golden Corral card. I knew where all of the places were that were buffets, and I would take Ziploc bags in my pocket. And I would steal food and take it with me and put it in my pockets and stuff, because I knew I was going to have to eat in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So you just constantly in this state of eating, man. It was rough. But it's necessary for that sport, because you can't lift the big heavy implements and expect to be able to stand if you don't have strong roots and weight, because when you lift weight with speed, it creates what's called centrifugal force. Once the object in motion, stays in motion, and then you have to be able to stop it with mass. So it becomes this mathematical equation, but the whole point is the bigger you are, the more force and mass you can put against centrifugal force and be able to stop stuff. And it's just that's actually the hardest part of strongman, is the eating and trying to keep up with it. But it's not very healthy for you. You got about a 10, 12-year window of doing that before you have to stop. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but I'm like 330 now. I used to be 440. If you're gonna live, drive around and see how many 80-year-old, 400-pound people you see. None. So I was trying to be around for my kids, so I had to let that eating style go, and I'm not competing no more, so it wasn't necessary for me to be that big or eat that much.
What's up, sexual chocolate?
What's up, man? Sexual caramel.
Talking about the strongman, I watched that competition and seen that you were going to win that thing from the start. I mean, you just see it on you, but do you feel like you had to prove it to yourself, or were you out strictly to prove it to everybody else that was calling you out on it?
No, I wasn't trying to prove it to me. I already knew.
Yeah.
I was mad because you got to let sleeping dogs lie. They knew that I was better than them. God made me better than them. I wasn't that because, oh, look at me. I worked my ass off since I was 12 to be who I became. And I felt like the guys, Mark Philippi, and yeah, I named his name, should have not said my name. Because I get mad right now all over again. And ain't nothing I could do now, I'm an old man. But back then, I could do something about it. And you cannot, I went to wrestling because I had a chance to make some money. And you know how much it hurt me to quit doing the thing that I was the best at? Bro, bro, it took a long time for me. I mean, I was probably 8 years into wrestling by then. And I'm already comfortable and really, you know what, man, I gave it up and this and that. And then his start talking trash. And so, like, for me to come out of retirement and do that was not for me. It was to prove it to all of them. And, you know, they say a hard head make a soft ass. Y'all ever heard that in the country? Like, sometimes you gotta put people in their place. And it ain't always gonna be nice when you do it. Like, you know, I've done my best to be, you know, somebody that was fair. They weren't being fair to me at that moment. They knew it too. They were using my name to try to build a platform of strongman, which, you know what, in hindsight, I may have done the same thing, but I wouldn't have used one individual. I wouldn't have pointed out somebody. You know, I would have just tried to do better by my sport. They made a mistake, and they realized from the competition that I wasn't just better, I was significantly better. And it was just a good look for me. It ended up being great for me. Like, I got new life again, because at that point in wrestling, I had been banished. They sent me away because I was on the Mark Henry choke you first and have a conversation about it tomorrow. And I ended up getting banished to Canada. But I'm not mad. I know I'm coming because my whole demeanor just changed, and I tightened up, and my body English is off. That's okay. Like, I was not mad, I was hurt. It's a difference. Like, you know, you can love something, and the fact that I couldn't do what I love, and then I had somebody ridiculing me about it, oh man, it hurt. It hurt. So I had to go inflict some pain. And that's what I did. Like, I trained harder than I trained when I was going to the Olympics. Like, you know, it wasn't good for them.
All right, we got time for one more question.
If that little kid asks a question, I'm losing it. He like, nope, not me. That's my daddy.
Good afternoon. I was just wondering, growing up in the Monday Night Warrior, do you ever regret like never going to WCW or anything like that during that time?
No, but my contract had expired, and it was up to WWE to offer me another deal. And WCW had actually offered me more money. And I said no. And I'm so glad that I said no. Because when you take more money and you go to the competition and they fail and you have to come back and tuck your tail, like, it's a lot of them dudes that came back that they never really was able to make it again because they became, for lack of a better term, a job guy, enhancement talent, or they used them to build the future guys at WWE. So, like, yeah, it was the best thing. All money ain't good money. You know, like, sometimes you gotta just say, hey, I'm comfortable with where I am. And I've never been greedy anyway. You know, like, I took a pay cut in the middle of my career before. And I mean, of course, you know, when business got good, you know, you start getting bonus and you get more matches and stuff like that. But money never ruled me. A good meal is way better and going to one of them clubs that, you know, you get to throw dollars is a lot more fun than, you know, having a bunch of money. Like, I like experiences.
So, tell us your.
Oh, see, he said the last question.
I know.
His daddy got up.
Dad grabbed the microphone.
Hey, his dad got up and was like, no.
I don't know what to do in this situation.
Hey,
I don't want to
did
get.
y'all see how he grabbed the mic? He's like this.
You let him go.
So tell us your best Owen Hart story.
Oh my God.
I know you got a lot of them.
Y'all know Owen Hart, right? So the legend of Owen Hart is he was the best practical joker of all time. You have never seen nothing on Pumped that comes close. You never seen nothing on Swerve that comes close. Owen did this shit every day. He woke up in the morning like this. Who am I gonna get today? I'm not making this up. Anybody that ever wrestled will tell you, Owen was messed up in the head. Owen used to just, people that he didn't know. Owen would go get the garbage cans in the hotel and fill them up with water. And then tilt them and lean them across to doors. And people would open the door and water would pour it all over. I'm telling you, the dude was messed up. Owen would take shampoo, and when it started to get ready to rain, it's just crazy, spiteful, real intelligent stuff. And he would put shampoo on people's windshield wipers. So now you starting to drive and you hear little rain hit the wind, and now and it's like, and the phone, you gotta pull over. Owen had jokes, man, this stuff, bro, I'm telling you, he was perfect at it. I drove in the car with him at least 50 times where he was like, can I borrow your phone? Because I used to have the bag phone. I had a cell phone before people had phones. You had to unzip it. Yep. They had to take it off. They had a cord on it. Yeah. You remember? That shit was expensive as hell, wasn't it?
60 minutes a month is what you got on.
That's all you got. And if you went over, I had $800,000 bills a month. And because of Owen, because he would get my phone and call his dad in Canada. And I was looking at my bill and it's like Calgary. I'm like, who is calling? All right, you got me. But we would call people in the car and he would be like, hello, is this Robert Jones? And he'd be like, yeah, it's Robert. And he just asked me little snippets of people I knew. And Robert played middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. And he called Robert and he said, hey, I'm sorry to call you, but you haven't paid your taxes and we're gonna have to come and confiscate your house. And Robert was like, who is this? And he's like, this is the IRS, sir. We need to have a consult. We're gonna come by your house and you think you can get all your stuff out before the weekend? And he just like stuff like that, like serious. And now Robert is like, listen, man, I don't know who the hell this is, but you need to get off the phone right now. This is a book. And he was like, hold on, Mark, I want to talk to you. I'm like, what would you do? Oh my God, man, that dude he was brutal, man. He called my mama one time with the same stick, told her he was gonna take her house. And my mom, we were poor. We didn't have the OR, we were poor. And he called my mom and told her that the IRS was gonna come take the house and she lost. My mom was a church lady. You know, the ladies they used to carry the umbrella to church. Because you never know when it was gonna rain. I always had a Bible. My mom called him everything but a child of God. And I was over there dying laughing because I had never heard her cuss before. You know, stuff like that. So, Owen was special, man. He was a special dude. Like, he would be so famous today, like with social media and all of that stuff, like impressions and stuff. He'd probably be one of the most famous wrestlers ever. And he's still famous. So, good question, man. All right, I gotta get out here and go sign Gypsy babies. Okay, that was weird. I'll just take pictures with them. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.